Welcome to Focal Point News, your source for campus news, breaking headlines, and in-depth stories that matter. Coming up on Focal Point.
What's usually a quiet Saturday here, we're getting our dance on, but in a different tradition. Find out what brought this group of Indigenous people together.
Drivers who pass through the Grand and Saginaw intersection are getting a new colorful view. Find out what it is coming up.
One professor at Michigan State has been watching grass grow for over 30 years. And I can't even go 30 seconds without watching my phone.
From the heart of Michigan State University, Focal Point starts right now.
Good morning. Today is October 4th, and welcome to Focal Point News. I'm Jaden Hawkins.
And I'm Charlotte Turbrack. On today's edition of Focal Point, we'll be taking a look into the new Lansing art installation, a glimpse into the clubs who are making a difference on campus,
and the Lansing Powwow. We'll also have the latest on Michigan State sports, and that's where we start. Not just with sports, but with an annual tradition with both the basketball team and fans that they hold very dearly.
Yeah, basketball season is just around the corner, and students around the globe are preparing for the season. But MSU has one unique tradition that sets their student section apart: the annual Is-Own Campout. Focal Point's Nora Fleming is live from Munfield, where preparations are underway. Nora, tell us a little bit more.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at Munfield, where, as you can see behind me, they're getting ready for the Is-Own Campout. The Is-Own Campout is a yearly tradition where students come and camp out in tents overnight for the Michigan State men's basketball team. As you can see, the stage behind me is where Coach Tom Izzo and the rest of the basketball team will be getting up there, just doing some team introductions. It's a big kickoff to the season. And they're also playing the Michigan State-Oregon football game as well. I'm here with student section leader Reese Carlson. Reese, you've been here since 7 a.m. You probably won't leave until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. What is the crew doing to get this all set up for campers?
Yeah, so right now we're setting up string to kind of designate where all the campsites are going to be, and then we're setting up flags to show you where all the numbers for the campsites are going to be as well.
And what can campers expect out of this year's campout?
You'll get to meet the team. You'll meet Coach Tom Izzo. There's going to be a really cool drone show, and we're also going to do the MSU Madness event at the Breslin Center as well.
And if you could describe the Is-Own Campout in one word, what would you say?
Epic.
Thanks, Reese, and good luck setting up.
Thank you.
So, guys, the Is-Own Campout, it starts at 5 tonight. Then the Midnight Madness will start at 7. I'm going to go find my campsite. Charlotte, Jaden, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Nora. It looks quiet over there, but I know around 6 p.m. tonight you won't be able to hear a thing. Now, you may have heard of the Hollywood sign before, or more recently, the new Detroit sign. Just last week, people saw 6-foot-tall blank letters pop up in the capital city, but they didn't stay blank for long. Focal Point's Karina Prieto shows us how Lansing artists left their mark.
Thousands of people drive through downtown Lansing every day, passing by the Capitol building and blocks of offices.
Hello, my name is Teresa Dunn.
People like Teresa Dunn, who lives and works in the greater Lansing area, teaching painting and drawing at Michigan State University.
I have seen these in other cities, and we've said this would be really important to have here, but let's do it right. Let's not just have the letters, let's have the letters showing off local artists and really showing off the excitement, the color, and the vibrancy.
But today, Dunn isn't in the classroom.
My mural image reflects my passion to bring greater representation to diverse, strong women, our stories, and our faces.
She's being recognized as one of the 7 local artists who painted the brand new Lansing sign on the corner of Grand and Saginaw.
Some of the letters, like this S, represent agriculture, while others, like this N, represent Hispanic culture.
I'm a Mexican-American woman, and representation of people of color, of immigrants, and of people with multicultural backgrounds is really important to me.
When it came time for Dunn to decide what she would paint on her letter, the choice was simple.
That was the first person I thought of to represent on my letter.
A former MSU student that she says impacted her because of her strength and confidence.
And it celebrates the different viewpoints that people see our community in. So I think it's an incredible project.
Artist Jasmine Wells wanted to show as many of those viewpoints in her letter N.
Dancing through the fence, so almost like you're looking through a chain link fence, but you're seeing a different piece of Lansing through every hole in the fence.
Wells and Dunn both say they are thrilled to leave their mark on the community they call home.
We like to support our artists.
The city held a reveal celebration to show their appreciation for the artists.
I'm so excited to be here.
And it sounds like Mayor Shore is more than pleased with the result. In Lansing, Karina Prieto, Focal Point News.
The Lansing Sign Project was funded by the Saginaw Street Corridor Improvement Authority and the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, which cost $40,000. Mayor Shore said he's looking forward to seeing the paint colors when we have snow on the ground. And I have to say, I'm excited too.
With the presidential election right around the corner, student organizations around the nation are preparing to get students engaged. The big day MSU College Democrats organization held an event on campus to get students ready to vote. Focal Point's Jordan Wilcox is here with the story.
Election night is 5 weeks away and student engagement is ramping up on campus here at Michigan State University. The College Democrats at MSU filed into Club Spartan at Case Hall to watch the vice presidential debate between Governor Tim Walz and Senator J.D. Vance.
I think it's really important for students to be engaged because as Gen Z and millennials, we make up over 45% of the new electorate coming in. So that means we're almost in the majority of of voices that are electing and re-electing these representatives and senators and governors. So it's a really important thing that we're voting not only for the top of the ticket with Harris and Walz, but we're also voting in all the elections down the ballot. So it really is vital as students. We have such a loud voice, such an impactful voice, and we're really making our voices heard.
The group stresses the importance of civic engagement within universities.
We had a watch party for the original presidential debate back in the first week of September. We had a huge turnout. We had over 200 people show up. It was like there was so much excitement. It was one of the first events we did of the school year, and so like we get to sense the excitement. And so when we found out there was going to be a VP debate, we were like, we have to do another one. We have a really good turnout again, about 150 people.
MSU is the largest branch of college Democrats in the nation. But watch parties are only a fraction of what the student organization does. With the slogan, Go Green, Vote Blue, the MSU Dems stay busy.
A lot of what we're doing is being more proactive on campus, such as having voter registration drives all across campus, and also doing dorm storming where we slide like pieces of paper under people's dorms that encourages them to vote. So I think that it's a lot about teaching young people on campus about democracy, but also having a way for them to be proactive.
The group noticed a change in student attitudes towards the election since Vice President Harris took to the ballot.
And I've seen such a drastic change in Gen Z after the change of presidency announcing Kamala's going to run. I think everyone's really excited. I mean, even if it's through like memes on TikTok or like the whole Kamala is so brat.
There are no future debates between any candidates, whether it be presidential or the vice president. But you can vote early with an absentee ballot in person, or you can come right here at WKAR on campus to vote early without reason. Jordan Wilcox reporting, Focal Point News.
That was just one way that Spartans have been gearing up for election night. Remember that the polls open on November 5th for in-person voting.
For about 10 years now, Michigan State students have had to go through another university to learn American Sign Language. However, I spoke with 2 students that found a way to bring ASL learning back to campus.
Hello, my name is Natalie. It's Natalie.
Tucked away inside Wells Hall, you'll find classroom A126. Every Wednesday night, students come learn a new language. It's not taught by an MSU professor, but by the students themselves. It's the American Sign Language Club.
Go green and go white. Yay!
We do a warm-up, and then we do the lesson, then we practice, and then we do our advocacy of the week. So usually if we don't have a guest teacher, we'll do OSD courses. Mallory was talking about the Oklahoma School for the Deaf.
MSU offers over 400 areas of study and teaches 30 different languages. But American Sign Language isn't one of them.
We see such a need for it. Most people that come up to us and talk to us are like, I wanted to take classes, but there was none. I wanted to be involved in the community. There's no involvement.
So, senior Ellen Skodak took matters into her own hands.
I got to work and called the friends, and I was like, hey guys, we're gonna make an ASL club. And they're like, you don't know ASL? I'm like, we will.
We will.
We'll find people. We'll use the community.
Ellen and Vice President Mallory Bergman emphasized they are not ASL experts, but they know how beneficial it is to learn the language and advocate to have it in higher education spaces.
I think having such a big campus with so much funding, they would want to shed a light on the ASL community, and they're kind of neglecting it, and I don't appreciate that.
Over the summer, Michigan State unanimously passed a bill to implement more ASL courses, but no action has been taken since. This week, the club will be sending out letters to university officials to make sure progress is being made.
Getting our foot in the door with this club and then now writing these letters, I think it'll show a real interest and support for ASL classes on campus.
Creating this safe space was a huge priority for Ellen and Mallory. They want people of all levels to feel comfortable making mistakes and learning along the way, just like them.
People recognize people, so when you can recognize someone that speaks the same language as you, or at least knows the basics, I think that's what's in it for me. That's why it's important to me.
In East Lansing, Jaden Hawkins, Focal Point News. The ASL Club meets every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. in Wells Hall. The club is free to join and attendance isn't mandatory.
Did you know that Barbie was created in 1959, a time where women were fighting for equal rights? It all started with that black and white bathing suit. People have been collecting Barbies for over 60 years, and today she is making her way back. No, I'm not talking about a second Barbie movie. It's the Barbie You Can Be Anything exhibit. I was fortunate enough to be able to see how Barbie officially came to life.
So much to see, so much to do. Let's share a dream, make it come true. Now, these are the lyrics from the Barbie Dreamhouse theme song, but today, these words are coming to life.
Since 1959, Barbie has been inspiring generations of children to dream big. Now, she's making her way right here in Lansing.
The Barbie You Can Be Anything exhibit has arrived at Impression 5 Science Center and is ready to spark the imagination of kids all ages.
It is Barbie You Can Be Anything. So the goal of the exhibit is to showcase STEM learning and STEM opportunities for kids of all ages, adults too, to show you that you can be anything. There's no limit to what you can or can't do.
It's all about showing kids that no matter their race, background, or gender, they can be anything they want to be. Through hands-on play, visitors can explore what excites and challenges them. So from dolls to role models, Barbie has shown us the power of representation.
Barbie's done a tremendous job over the decades, adding different body styles, different races, different tones, and all those different things that were not added back in the day. So the opportunity to have kids come in and see themselves within Barbie, it's really exciting for them. They seem to be really engaged.
So whether you're dreaming of taking the skies as a pilot, curing diseases as a doctor, or designing the next New York Fashion Week, the Barbie You Can Be Anything exhibit is here to remind us anything is possible.
What do you want to be when you grow up? A singer.
In East Lansing, I'm Charlotte Turbrack, Focal Point
Well,
News.
because I've been practicing a lot, and yeah.
The Barbie exhibit is only in town until January 19th, so to find out more about how you can make your dreams come to life, go to impression5.org.
Last Saturday at Adado Riverfront Park in Lansing, the Anishinaabe Friendship Center hosted the annual Dance by the River Powwow. The group is dedicated to providing culturally sensitive and inclusive program and services to the Native American community throughout the greater Lansing area. Focal Point's Rachel Fulton shows us the cultural importance this event brought to the area.
This Lansing Park is typically pretty quiet on the weekend. But on this Saturday, the Anishinaabe Friendship Center is sharing their culture with the community. It's their first Dance by the River Powwow.
You don't have to be native. Come on out, you have a chance.
Powwows not only are important to the indigenous community, but for everybody.
Spam.
for the Anishinaabe or indigenous community. It's a way for them to have their rituals and their ceremonies and so forth. Then it's also a way for allies in the community and for others to learn about the culture as well.
They made shoes here at the event, as well as smudging, the burning of herbs to purify and cleanse the mind, body, and spirit. To even otter hair ties.
And then the young lady can come back and a little bit and pick them up, and these go at the bottom of our braids.
From food to even shopping, this powwow truly brings something for everyone.
The vendors, which all are about, so they're not only from like the greater Lansing area, but just all over the state. We have some from Canada, actually. Yes. Yeah. Even our northern brothers and sisters. Yeah.
An event that brings culture, color, and community together. In Lansing, Rachel Fulton, Focal Point News.
That event looked beautiful, and what a great way to welcome in the community. For more information on the Anishinaabe Friendship Center, they can be found on Facebook.
Well, I have to say, with October officially starting, fall weather seems to be waiting in the wings.
That's right. We are still seeing some shorts weather, but sweatshirts are coming. Jordan Wilcox is live with us at the Weather Wall with the latest. Jordan?
Yes, it may be October, the leaves may be falling to the ground, and you may even feel a gust of wind once in a while, but unfortunately for all of our fall lovers out there, it's still quite warm outside. As you can see, Metro Detroit sits in the lower 70s along with our Midwest neighbor Chicago, as well as Buffalo, New York. Now that number increases the further south we go, with South Carolina hitting 82 degrees and Atlanta entering the 80s as well. As we get into the New England territory, they are experiencing mild 70s just like us in the Midwest. Traversing over to the West Coast, we are seeing high temperatures in California, slowly teetering towards the 90s, and Phoenix, Arizona experiencing the highest at 107 degrees. Looking closer at our region, we see Metro Detroit sitting comfortably at 72 degrees and Grand Rapids 1 degree cooler than us at 71. A little south of the Mitten in Indianapolis and Pittsburgh are both in the high 70s. Going a little west of us is Green Bay at 61 degrees, and a little further than that is Minneapolis at 69 degrees. As we look at our 7-day forecast, we'll see that the weather is fluctuating quite a bit, with Friday being partially cloudy. So if you are at the Izzone campout, the temperatures will decrease, so make sure that you are getting a hoodie and a blanket. You can expect a sunny start to the weekend with Saturday as temperatures hit 70 degrees with a low of 55. Remember to pack an umbrella, as there will be heavy showers with lightning, with a high of 73 degrees and a low of 44. Monday will be partially cloudy with a high of 64 and low of 40, and the sun will return on Tuesday and stay through Wednesday as the temperatures stay between the mid 60s and 70 as the high, and in the low 40s as the low. We will end on Thursday with partially cloudy skies, a high of 73 and a low of 49. And that's all we have for this Friday's weather forecast. Back to you, Jada.
Thank you, Jordan. I have to say, I'm excited for fall festivities, but not the weather.
Coming up on Focal Point, we'll have an update on Hurricane Helene and a little more about what's happening in the Middle East.
Focal Point also got a chance to spend some time with an inspiring women's workout group. We'll also have the latest sports updates coming after the break.
Big Ten so big? For starters, it's coast to coast. 18 of the country's most iconic universities. It's 110,000 people going berserk in a whiteout bid. It's Defend the Rock, Jump Around, and the biggest bass drum on earth big. It's a stadium so big.
They had to name it the Big House. Go Blue!
It's dotting the I big.
Let's go Bucks.
It's all-time leading scorer big. It's Husker Tunnel Walk big. And Paul Bunyan's axe big. It's Rutgers Rock, Fear the Turtle, Oski Wow Wow, and Sparty doing big Sparty things. It's red, scarlet, maroon, cardinal, purple, green, black, yellow, gold, orange, and any other color under the sun big. And now that USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington have joined the party, it's feeling real big. Right, Matt?
I'm ready. Fight on. Boys up, baby.
Let's get it. Go Dogs.
Nah, it's all about the O.
And where can you catch more sports games, matches, hits, goals, saves, aces, buzzer beaters, sprints, spikes, putts, pins, vaults, dives, and touchdowns every Big Ten season? The Big Ten Network. This is big.
Welcome back to Focal Points. If you're looking for something to do this weekend in the greater Lansing area, there's no shortage of ongoing events this weekend.
Tonight, Dee Bridgewater, a Flint native, former Spartan, and Grammy-winning jazz artist, is performing at the Wharton Center. The show starts at 7:30.
Tomorrow is the much-anticipated Olive Burger Festival at Jackson Field from noon to 5 p.m.
The 14th annual Downtown Lansing Zombie Walk is from 3 to 5 p.m. and starts outside of Impression 5.
News in the destruction of Hurricane Helene. Now cities across the southeast coastline are recovering and dealing with the wreckage. In Asheville, North Carolina, thousands of people took cover hoping to be safe from Helene's destruction. Unfortunately, where it can rain, it can flood. The city has been decimated. Highways are destroyed and power lines ripped from the ground after Helene hit the city as a tropical storm. The storm that made landfall in Florida's Big Bend has reached a death toll of over 200 people, with more still missing. Our hearts go out to all of the families affected in the southeast.
As we approach the one-year mark since the October 7th attacks by Hamas, tensions are high as ever in the Middle East. On Tuesday, Iran launched over 180 ballistic missiles targeted at Israeli military sites in response to Israel's attacks on Lebanon and Gaza, which have left thousands of civilians dead and many more injured and displaced. Israel says it will retaliate, with how and when to be determined. These attacks have already displaced close to 1 million Lebanese residents, and the Palestinian Authority reports that 90% of Gaza's infrastructure has been destroyed.
Michigan State University has over 1,000 student organizations on campus, but one called Charge is not just a workout club. It's building strong friendships along with strong biceps. Let's take a look.
Hello. Every Wednesday, you look cute and sporty. More than 100 women get together in Jennison Fieldhouse for a workout. You could say that the mission of this student organization, called Charge, is to make fitness fun, but it creates much more than strong quads. It creates strong friendships.
It's a really friendly community.
Just ask the club's president, Kendall Brock.
The friends I've made, I love that I can talk to, I think there were 70 girls here tonight, so I get to talk to 70 girls every week.
And in 3 years, that means a lot of burpees.
I have the knees of an 80-year-old woman.
Push-ups.
Really hard.
And whatever this is.
Oh, do we stay up? Charge has workouts every Wednesday at 7, and trust me, they're a lot harder than they look.
Senior Natalie Maru remembers her first workout well.
I was a freshman and I felt so welcome, so included. Like, people were talking to me that I didn't know at all, and it was fun.
And doesn't want her time in the club to end just yet.
It's kind of bittersweet because I graduate in December.
But the friendships she's made,
I'm leaving this chapter with so many friends that I've made in Charge.
Truly will last a lifetime.
So I'm just excited about that and hanging out with them and just having those friendships going forward post-grad.
All because of a workout club.
You can do it!
That turned into a huge community. In East Lansing, Nora Fleming, Focal Point News.
Well, Nora, I have to say that looked like a great workout and a great community. Membership for the spring semester will be on sale in November. The exact date will be posted on their Instagram at MSU Charge.
It has been an exciting week on campus for all sports here in East Lansing. After hosting the #3 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes last Saturday, the Spartan football team now faces another tall task tonight at Oregon. Focal Point's Campbell Berg is live in the newsroom for more on that, as well as everything else Michigan State sports.
Thanks, Charlotte. This week's edition of sports is packed with updates from football, women's soccer, field hockey, and men's hockey. After a 38-7 loss to Ohio State, the Spartans are looking to bounce back this week at Oregon. The football team will rely on running back K'Ron Lynch-Adams, who had a game high of 9 carries for 35 yards, while senior linebacker Jordan Turner had 9 tackles. Quarterback Aiden Childs completed 13 of 19 passes for 197 yards and 1 touchdown. The Spartans, who are 3-2, will play tonight against the number 6 Ducks at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox Sports. Women's soccer is still going strong at 8-0-4, even after a tough loss against 1-all draw Rutgers this past Sunday. Mackenzie Anthony's goal in the 80th minute, assisted by Adele Francis and Justina Gaynor, was the only goal for the green and white this game. In the 86th minute, Rutgers' Gabriella Gill scored the game-tying goal during a penalty kick. They are now ranked in the number 5 spot on the U.S. coaches poll. The team plays tomorrow night against Michigan here at DeMartin Stadium at 7 p.m. In field hockey, MSU played Miami, Ohio on Tuesday, scoring 2 goals courtesy of Emma O'Neill and Ellie Rutherford, both scoring their 3rd goal of the season. This is the team's 2nd consecutive double overtime win. Field hockey will be back at Ralph Young Field on Sunday at 1 p.m. against Kent State. Michigan hockey's 2024-25 season is underway with the series this weekend in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan against Lake Superior State. They play tonight at 6 p.m. and tomorrow at 4 p.m. Their next series is here at Munn Ice Arena against Boston College next weekend. That is it for sports today, but tune in next week to hear all of the weekly sports updates. Jaden and Charlotte, back to you in the newsroom.
Thanks, Campbell. I am sure excited to watch some MSU football tonight.
So am I. And speaking of Spartans football, we're going to go ahead and look into Spartan Stadium. Most students at Michigan State have at least heard of the turf management program from the popular World of Turf class that has 952 students this semester to the real grass at Spartan Stadium. It's visible across campus. But this week, Focal Point's Ethan Hunter looks deeper to see what and who is behind all this grass.
Sunrise over Michigan State University. The stillness of the morning, cut by mowers.
Typical mow days are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so we have some areas that cut grass that are outside of the athletic field, so we got someone out on a mower right now.
Hours before anyone's in class, Andy Flynn and Brian McDougall have been at it since 5 a.m. A typical morning 3 days before a big game.
We do have tons of pride, and we do take this very serious because we want our team to perform well on this surface.
It's like an outdoor classroom. The subject, turf management. The exercises, mowing, lining, and painting 100 yards. Andy is proud of his work. He's been doing it for 20 years since he graduated from the program right here at MSU.
I mean, you can see the background. We set the stage for greatness. We provide the surface that these student athletes perform on, and if they're playing on subpar surfaces, they're not going to be able to perform at their highest level.
Not too many fans notice the grass on game day. For Andy and Brian, that's all they see.
Andy and I, we watch the football game a lot different than the 75,000 people in here. We're not watching necessarily the game itself, but we're watching the feet.
Those 75,000 people will be watching Andy and Brian's work of art on Saturday. But here, just a mile down the road, shows off the artwork of one man. Artwork that millions have seen for decades.
We've had a strong turfgrass teaching program for, a good 50 years now.
Call Dr. Rogers the chief surgeon of the turfgrass program, considered one of the best in the country.
Your research, that changes. The students, they're pretty constant.
One of his fondest memories, when he was asked to work on what seemed like an impossible project.
Winalda. Origin! America have equalized!
Create a real grass field inside for the World Cup. It was 1994 in Detroit's Pontiac Silverdome.
So this was the original idea of what you would use for temporary turf.
And when this game was played, People actually notice the grass.
What about the $2 million portable grass field? The man who created the idea says, no sweat.
Won't really have any effect on the grass. We've been able to take enough precautions and things along these lines that, and this is a very tough turf to begin with.
Yes, that was a 30-some-year-old Trey at his first World Cup. It's first and not only, because with the tournament returning to America in 2026, he's coming back with it.
A lot of changes. You know, the thing that doesn't really change, though, is the grass.
He's working with the head of Tennessee's program, who was his undergrad student back in '94, and he thinks this will be their biggest contribution yet.
I think something like this will revolutionize the idea of temporary turf, of how quickly and easily and safely you can put it in.
Watching grass grow and watching paint dry. The Michigan State Turfgrass program doesn't look to change the future every day. Most days, they just get ready for Saturday. In East Lansing, Ethan Hunter, Focal Point News.
This version of temporary turf that will be used at the World Cup had its first run last month in Dallas at a match between Mexico and Canada. Dr. Rogers told Focal Point News he couldn't have been happier with how the grass performed.
What a great way for MSU to be represented in such a big sporting event.
We are out of time for today. Thank you for tuning in to Focal Point News. I'm Jaden Hawkins.
And I'm Charlotte Turbrack. Have a great weekend.